Did he do it, right? I know you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually. But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated.
Was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day?
I'm just not with all that flippy shit.
Diddy is spiraling and the walls are closing in. Everything he's spent decades building, the empire, the image, the untouchable aura, it's crumbling. And at the center of it all is 50 Cent.
Sean Diddy Combs and 50 Cent. These two go back a long time. They have been rivals for a long time. And this week we learned that, at least from Diddy's side of things, this feud apparently went far beyond words. 50 Cent's name came up during the testimony this week of Capricorn Clark. She is a former assistant of Sean Combs who went on to become the head of marketing for his Sean John clothing brand. Clark rose successfully and professionally through the ranks of Diddy's world during her time working for him, which stretched between 2004 to 2018, so she saw a lot. Clark claimed that Diddy would threaten her, and she says he even kidnapped her in 2011. All of this matters as we build up to how 50 Cent kind of factors into what she said on the stand. Now, Capricorn Clark started working for Bad Boy after she worked for Death Row Records. Now that's surprising, since Death Row was ran by perhaps Diddy's most hated enemy, Suge Knight. Clark said that one of her good friends had a baby with Suge Knight, and that's how she knew him. And in perhaps the most shocking story from her testimony, Clark claimed that shortly after she started working for Diddy, Diddy and his security guards took her to Central Park after dark, and Diddy said, quote, "He told me he didn't know that I had anything to do with Suge Knight, and if anything happened, he would have to kill me." It is an allegation that paints Combs as someone who is ready to take a life. But as Capricorn Clark's testimony continued, she brought up another rival of Sean Diddy Combs and another allegation that he made an ominous threat of violence. Clark testified, when working for Diddy, they went to a press event at MTV and 50 Cent was there. And just wait until you hear what she says Diddy told 50's manager. 50 Cent's real name is Curtis Jackson. He rose to fame in the early 2000s. You might remember songs like In the Club. You might remember that he was the leader of the rap group G-Unit. Now, 50 grew up in Jamaica, Queens, New York. Diddy, also a New York native. He was born in Harlem, grew up in Mount Vernon, New York, just about 20 miles away. And even though they both had success in music, they both rose to fame representing the city of New York and the rap scene there, they have been longtime rivals. In 2006, 50 Cent released a diss track about Diddy. So almost 20 years ago, this goes back a long way. And in that diss track, he says, quote, "Who shot Biggie Smalls? We don't get 'em. They gon' kill us all. Man, Puffy know who hit that expletive. Man, that expletive soft." Now 50 is accusing Combs there of knowing who killed his friend, the notorious B.I.G. Christopher Wallace. Wallace and Puffy were incredibly close, but Wallace was shot and killed in a drive-by shooting in Los Angeles in 1997, and no one has ever been charged for pulling the trigger. This all happened during really the height of the East Coast-West Coast rap rivalry of the 90s, which involved Suge Knight, who we mentioned earlier. 50 Cent has also accused Diddy of orchestrating the murder of death row rapper Tupac Shakur, who died in 1996 in a Las Vegas drive-by shooting. This is Dwayne Keefe D. Davis. He was arrested in September 2023, and he is the only person facing charges related to Tupac's murder. But 50 Cent has continued to push the allegation that Sean Combs either knows something or did something for Tupac to end up dead, though Diddy has denied that. But in a 2023 Instagram post, 50 wrote, "Damn, so Pac got lined by brother love, LOL, time to lawyer up, expletive might get sticky," with a pic of Suge Knight in a car.
Standing tall with a megaphone and a smirk, exposing the darkest corners of Diddy's kingdom. This isn't some petty beef. This is nuclear warfare. And 50 isn't holding back. Not this time. He's calling it out for what it is. The so-called freak-off parties? Not glamorous, not elite, not some high-profile social event. They were traps, sickening, calculated traps. And according to 50 Cent, they were never about fun. They were about power, control, blackmail, submission. The internet barely had time to breathe before 50 dropped the first grenade. He said, You thought the scandals were wild? Wait till y'all see what was really going down behind those closed doors. And suddenly the whispers became screams. 50 laid it out, piece by piece. He's not guessing. He's not speculating. He's speaking with the precision of someone who's seen too much. The freak-offs weren't just parties. They were rituals. Carefully curated events designed to expose, exploit, and entrap.
With Tupac. Diddy, who has a lot of names, Puff Daddy, Puffy, Puff, and Brother Love is one of those other names. Now, from Diddy's side of things, again, he's denied having anything to do with Tupac's murder, and he's also denied having anything to do with Christopher Wallace's death, and he's denied publicly having issues with 50 Cent. Here's what Combs said when he was asked about a beef with 50 in a 2018 interview with the radio show The Breakfast Club, Power 105.1 FM.
Hey, yo, I don't have no beef with
I don't know why.
With Fifth. He loves me. He loves me.
Do y'all really
can't
have
see
a
it?
beef?
I mean, y'all can't see it.
No, we can't see
Y'all
it,
can't
man.
see that he loves me?
But see,
You really think that's hate?
If you look at 50's social media, you can see he has a lot of posts about Diddy. And this is what he posted the day that federal agents in Miami raided Combs' mansion ahead of his arrest on the charges that he's now on trial for. 50 Cent posted on X, "Now it's not Diddy do it, it's Diddy done. They don't come like that unless they got a case." 50 Cent also included a link to his G-Unit clothing brand in that post. While Diddy in the Breakfast Club clip said that 50 Cent actually loves him and there was never a beef, on the stand this week, Capricorn Clark said otherwise. Clark said that she was at this press event at MTV with Diddy and 50 Cent was also there, all of this happening in New York. Clark said, quote, "After the interview wrapped up, myself, Puff, and Chris Lighty got in the elevator." Clark said that Lighty was an entertainment manager who, on paper, was managing Diddy at the time, but was also 50 Cent's manager at the time. Prosecutors asked Clark what happened in the elevator, and she said, quote, "Puff told Chris, because they were having some sort of issue, like, I really don't like all the back and forth. I don't do that. I like guns." The prosecutor then asked, "What's the issue with an individual?" And Clark responded, he had an issue with 50 Cent. She said Combs was very serious when he said that. In this case, it has become common to hear testimony from witnesses about alleged threats by Diddy. In fact, several witnesses have said that Diddy regularly threatened to fire people, to beat people, like his former girlfriend Cassie Ventura, and in this case, making a threat involving firearms to settle a dispute per the testimony of someone who was one of his closest associates for more than a decade. Invoking gun violence and some sort of veiled threat, that could be scary for some, but apparently not 50 Cent. On Instagram, 50 posted right after his name came up in the courtroom, quote, cut, wait a minute. Puffy's got a gun? I can't believe this. I don't feel safe," with a picture that looked like an AI image of 50 Cent on a movie set looking serious. And he wasn't done. Shortly after that, he posted another AI image on Instagram of him in a Yankees hat with a very scared look on his face with the caption, "Oh my goodness, itty bitty Diddy wants me dead. I have to lay low," sad face emoji. "I think I'm gonna hide out at the playoff game tonight, LOL." Then the next day he posted what he did that night. He went to the NBA playoff game between the New York Knicks and the Indiana Pacers in Indiana. And you can see him here in a picture on the floor in a shirt that reads, quote, "Free Diddy," playing in.
You didn't get invited because you were special. You got invited because you were useful, or vulnerable, or both. He claimed phones were confiscated, NDAs handed out like party favors, drinks laced, cameras hidden. Attendees led into secret rooms they were never supposed to talk about. And at the center of it all, Diddy, watching, controlling, cataloging. 50 said, "They thought it was just a wild night." Nah, it was insurance. It was leverage. He's been keeping people in check with those tapes for years. And now, those tapes are coming out. 50 teased one clip. Voices blurred, images distorted, but the energy unmistakable. One person crying, another begging to leave. Background chatter, laughter, darkness, and Diddy's voice. Calm, commanding, cold. He said, "They called it a freak-off. I call it evidence." He didn't stop there.
footage of celebrities that have been held as blackmail. Stevie J seemingly responded with a post to Instagram with the caption, "This is what a real Diddy party looks like." The video showed a number of famous faces, including Jay-Z and Beyonce, Kim Kardashian, her then-husband Kanye West, Naomi Campbell, and several others who were all together to celebrate Diddy's 50th birthday in 2019. Fast forward to 2024, 50 was asked why there have been so many silent voices when it comes to celebs speaking out about Diddy, as if they're afraid to speak up. 50 replied in part, "Some of them were involved at the parties and enjoyed themselves, so they don't know what the F is on the tape or what's not on the tape. So they're not going to say anything because they might have had too much fun." And then you've got other people who look at it and go, "Well, that's not my business and I don't want to be in it." Then you got a part of our culture that says that's snitching or dry snitching. It's uncomfortable for me to say what I said because I've been saying this stuff for 4 or 5 years. Everybody else is not going to be as comfortable as I'm saying it. 50 Cent then alleged there's one famous friend that is aware of Diddy's alleged disturbing behavior. R&B legend Mary J. Blige, who got her start at Diddy's Bad Boy Records, has been a longtime friend of the embattled rapper and producer. But she reportedly has a great relationship with 50 Cent as well. When asked if Mary J. Blige reached out to 50, he responded, no. You know what? Mary never reached out to tell me not to F up Puffy because she knows he does that stuff. As Diddy and 50 Cent have long been in the rap game, they share another commonality, and that's 50 Cent's ex-girlfriend and the mother of his youngest son, Daphne Joy Navarez. The actress and OnlyFans model was named in Rodney Jones' suit against Diddy as she was referenced to as an alleged sex worker of Diddy's that also gets paid a monthly stipend. She has denied those allegations in a post made to social media, writing, "I am deeply hurt by the lies in Rodney Jones' lawsuit. The claim that I'm a sex worker is 100% false and character assassination. I am retaining an attorney to explore all legal remedies against both Rodney and his attorney." 50 Cent seemingly poked fun at the allegation of the mother of his son being an alleged sex worker. In a post made to his social media page, 50 wrote a caption, "I didn't know you was a sex worker, you little sex worker, LOL." But this would prompt Daphne Joy to respond to her ex again on social media, but this time would accuse 50 directly of rape and being abusive during their relationship. She would write in part, "Everything is a joke to you until our safety is compromised, which is happening now. You are wreaking real havoc, frenzy, and chaos onto people's lives. How would you feel if Sire was the one in handcuffs for nothing? Let's put the real focus on your true evil actions of raping me and physically abusing me. You are no longer my oppressor, and my God will handle you from this point on. You have permanently damaged the last hope I had for you as a father to preserve our family with these last and final false claims made against me. You have broken our hearts for the last and final time." Those allegations against 50 Cent would prompt him to fire back against his ex Daphne Joy and sue her for defamation. In his suit, 50 Cent said those allegations were unequivocally false and would claim she made the shocking allegations in retaliation after he moved to take sole custody of their son. Since that suit, Daphne has deleted her Instagram post accusing 50 of rape and physical abuse. 50 Cent was asked by The Hollywood Reporter the latest in the defamation suit. The rapper and television producer said he tiptoes around the Daphne stuff and explained why. He said, "I got a family court case. The allegations that came out, she posted things to her page saying some crazy stuff. But this comes 8 hours after I filed for custody for my son. And she put that up in response to that, and I'm like, ugh. In this climate, you know how quickly they pass judgment. Things have worked out since she said those things." He went on to add, "I'd like to respond and say some wild stuff, but I've got to sustain that for my son."
50 started dropping names, not just artists, politicians, executives, celebrities that smiled on red carpets on Sunday and crawled into those rooms on Friday. He said, "You ever wonder how some people kept getting bigger while others vanished? This is why. They had dirt on them. Real dirt. Suddenly, people who hadn't spoken in years started talking. Ex-bodyguards, former assistants, studio engineers, security guys. Everyone with a story. All pointing in the same direction. A network of manipulation, fear, silence. And then 50 hit the industry with another haymaker. He posted, "I told y'all, this ain't just about Diddy. This is about the whole damn machine. Y'all ain't ready for how deep this goes." He claimed Diddy used those parties as a screening ground. Who was desperate? Who would do anything to get in the door? Who could he control? And who did he need to destroy? It was all a game. One that 50 says has been running for decades. He exposed stories of young artists showing up wide-eyed, only to leave broken. of people waking up in rooms they didn't remember entering, of favors being demanded, reputations being ruined, contracts being signed under threats, and behind every curtain, a camera rolling. The message was clear. If you crossed Diddy, he had the footage to end you. 50 even shared Diddy's alleged playbook. Keep him drunk, keep him scared, keep him loyal. And he says the reason so many stayed quiet for so long? They knew what he had on them. But now, people are done being scared. Whistleblowers are flooding in. Emails, photos, old footage, messages.
2 out of 5 counts, according to NBC News reporters present when the New York jury announced its determination July 2nd. Combs, who pleaded not guilty to all charges, was convicted of prostitution-related offenses, but acquitted of the sex trafficking and racketeering charges in his case. After his verdict was announced, stars who have been connected to Combs over the years spoke out on social media, with fellow rapper 50 Cent posting a photo of himself smiling and mocking Combs' good fortune. He wrote alongside the pic, "Diddy beat the feds, that boy a bad man, beat the Rico," before comparing him to late mobster John Gotti. Aubrey O'Day, Combs' former protege and member of Danity Kane, also shared her candid reaction to his fate. She said while filming CNN's live coverage of the verdict on her Instagram stories,
"Oh my God.
The jury did not
guilty on Cassie, not guilty on Rico. No way that Jane is going to be guilty. Oh, this makes me physically ill. Cassie probably feels so horrible.
Coercion involved in that. It could still be that the jury finds,
Ronnie,
yes, a person
I'm gonna
was
vomit.
moved across.
Ahead of the verdict, Aubrey spoke to E! News about what justice would look like for her in relation to the case.
Justice for me in this setting, I would like to see all of the crimes that I know are true for him to serve time for all of those, personally. Professionally, I would like the prosecution to have done such an incredible job that nobody had any questions right now, and a lot of people have questions. At this point, if I'm going to blend those two worlds together, I would like to see a world in which they really connected the dots. I'd like to see them really bring home the charges that they indicted him for, because it's a dangerous game to play at a federal level against a billionaire mogul. There's cause for concern when you watch the trial, the very first part of it all play out, and there's still questions for people. I don't have any questions, but the prosecution needs to have done a good enough job to make sure that the jury doesn't.
Also speaking out was an attorney for Cassie Ventura, who dated Combs on and off from 2007 until 2018, and testified during the trial about the alleged abuse she was subject to during their relationship. Her lawyer said in a statement to E! News, "This entire criminal process started when our client, Cassie Ventura, had the courage to file her civil complaint in November 2023. Although the jury did not find Combs guilty of sex trafficking Cassie beyond a reasonable doubt, she paved the way for a jury to find him guilty of transportation to engage in prostitution." Her attorney added, "We must..."
People who've been sitting on evidence for years, finally ready to burn it all down. And Diddy? He's unraveling. His team is scrambling. Every day his name trends for the wrong reasons. People he thought were allies are going radio silent. No one wants to go down with the ship. He's lawyering up, wiping socials, laying low. But 50 is relentless. "This ain't gonna end in court," 50 said. "It's gonna end in the streets, in the headlines, on camera, the same way he did everybody else." And he means it. He's already hinting at another batch of tapes. More faces, bigger names. Secrets too dark for TV. He said, "Y'all ever wonder why Hollywood protects him? Why certain stories always get buried? 'Cause they're all in on it." He dragged out receipts, screenshots, texts, audio clips, all pointing to a pattern. People getting silenced, evidence being erased, survivors being paid off or threatened, all to keep the freak-off machine running. The industry is shaking. People are distancing themselves. Events are being canceled. Brand deals cut. Nobody wants to be linked to what's coming. Because 50 made it clear, he's not done. He's just warming up. He said, "This ain't revenge. This is justice." He's been hiding behind money, fame, and fear for too long. I'm here to end that. And the fans? They're not shocked. They're angry. Because deep down, people always knew something was off. Too many red flags, too many stories that didn't add up. And now that the truth is bleeding out, there's no putting it back. Celebrities are deleting old photos. Former collaborators are posting vague statements. But 50 isn't letting anyone off easy. He said, "If you were in those rooms and stayed quiet, you're just as guilty. Speak up, or get exposed." And one by one, they're folding. Former guests are issuing denials. Some are trying to play the victim. Others are running. But the receipts don't lie. The footage is real. And 50? He's just dropping teaser after teaser, letting the suspense grow. He posted, "Every tape got a name. Every scream got a face. Y'all gonna see 'em all." This isn't just a takedown. It's a reckoning. The kind that rewrites careers, dismantles legacies, and pulls skeletons out of closets that were sealed shut. And 50? He's not interested in peace. He wants the whole system to burn. He said, "You don't get to hurt people in the dark and dance in the light. Not anymore. I'm making sure the lights stay on." As the chaos grows, insiders say Diddy has gone full meltdown, yelling at his staff, accusing people of leaking, begging lawyers to stop the footage. But there's no stopping what's coming. The dam has broken, and 50's not letting up. "You built your empire off pain," he said. "Now feel it." And we're all watching. Every tweet, every drop, every new revelation. The illusion is dead. The power is shifting. And Diddy? He's no longer the puppet master. He's the one being exposed.